Have you ever felt like I don't belong here? Have you ever in a situation where the way other people were acting, you're like, I'm not in with them. They don't want me here. It's a pretty lousy feeling to feel totally alone, even in a crowd. That's maybe the worst. One of the most extreme examples of me having that experience happened to be in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I'm walking through the downtown area of Cheyenne, Wyoming, and on the main street there was a store, a storefront, very large storefront, a lot of windows, and in all these windows are wild animals, very exotic animals, many of which I'd never even seen before, and they've all been killed and stuffed and brought back to Cheyenne, Wyoming, by this one hunter on his hunting escapades around the world, mostly Africa. And then I go inside the store, and there's even more of these dead animals all over the place. And they're being proclaimed, they're being like displayed very proudly. But I'm like, boy, this is just one humongous killing spree, you know. And so it was getting to me. It was really getting to me, like what I was seeing. And so I'm in the store, and one of the employees comes up to me and says, can I help you? In a way that has nothing to do with courtesy. It has to do with, what are you doing here? I said, yeah, maybe you can help me. Maybe you can tell me why, upon seeing all these beautiful creatures, he felt the need to kill them. And now other employees are starting to gather around. And I'm surrounded by this herd of people. And I say, yeah, I mean, why didn't you just take a picture of them? Take a photo. Why did he have to kill them? And that was the moment where I realized I was being looked at like this creature that they could not understand. And I knew I had to get out of there and run for my life. Or at least just get out of there. But I just felt like, oh wow, this is a different mentality here. You know, that these employees had, that this hunter had. And I was like, yeah, I don't belong here. It's not a good feeling. But you know what happens? You don't want the experience of being left out or being rejected or being misfit or even outcast to keep you from trying. One of the reasons I want to make a point about this is because of the phenomena in Japan of the hikikomori. The hikikomori are the young men, mostly young men. There's some females, mostly young men, 16 to 30, that are hiding in their bedrooms. It's social isolation. They totally withdraw from life. And there's a lot of reasons why it happens. If you're really interested in it, I've got a video that I produced on it because I was fascinated about it. But just basically, it's social isolation that results from all the things that converge: their family dynamics, their social dynamics, their pressures that young people are under, and these young men resort to all of this by just saying, "Nope, not playing," and they shut themselves off, and it's very, very sad. And what's happening is that more of this is happening in the United States and in Western civilization, Western cultures as well. And yet we don't thrive that way. We need each other. God's wired us in such a way that we need each other. And so the experience of loneliness, which I certainly can relate to, I invite you to, if you are lonely, okay, to just don't isolate. Don't compound the whole thing by pulling yourself further and further away. Okay, take chances, even if it leads to rejection, even if you feel like you blow it and it doesn't work out. Just keep trying and let God love you. Let Him bless you. Know that if you have Him, you're never really, you could be alone, but not lonely. Okay? And because I can relate to this so much, from my own schooling, my own, teenage years, where I sat alone in a school cafeteria for 4 years. And so I know what that feels like